Guys, you don't need to choose between price and quality to get an amazing and affordable shave. DollarShaveClub.com is the answer. To prove how amazing their shave really is, right now they are going to give you the first month free to join the club. DollarShaveClub.com delivers amazing razors right to Tim's door. That's right! Tim Gettys uses them. Are you saying you're better than Tim Gettys? I don't believe it. Don't make me curse at you. I don't want to. You can get those razors for a third of the price of what the greedy razor corporations want. See why over 3 million members like Tim Gettys love Dollar Shave Club. They're so confident in the quality of all of their products. Now you can get your first month of the club for free. Just pay shipping. After that, it's just a few bucks a month. No long-term commitment. No hidden fees. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. Don't you want to look like Tim Gettys? I sure do. Below the waist. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hello.
Now, you're breaking the internet like Kim K did. My girl, Kim K. What is this shirt?
It's just a shirt.
It's not Heather Gray. It's not black. It's not one of ours.
Every 6 to 7 months, I'm like, I want a little touch of color in my life. Just a little touch.
Do me a favor and stand up. And then give me, like, put one leg on the chair, because your whole outfit's very good.
You want the Captain Morgan?
Are these chinos you're wearing?
They are not chino, not the chinos brand, but they are J. Crew pants.
Get the fuck up.
I was about to say, is that a J. Crew shirt?
No.
Look at this.
It's just a shirt.
Look at him. He got the blue shirt. Now, you don't go away from the light. Come into the light. Come here. Come back. Back it up. Back it. No, that's not what we want. Nick, I can't see the outfit at all. I just see your hand. No, I don't see anything now. You're going the wrong way. What, we got these, like, white pants on. Got some gray pants.
Sometimes I wear pants.
Wow, look at you.
No, you wear pants all the time, and I like that. I appreciate that. It's just, whoa. Okay.
A little pelvic thrust.
No, what's happening is I'm going on vacation in a couple weeks. My wife and I are going on a little adventure.
Where are you going?
We're going to go to London first for a couple days, and then we're going to go to Morocco.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is one of those. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's going to be not a relaxing vacation. It's going to be...
You're going to have a great time.
No, I'm going to have a great time. We're doing, like, crazy stuff.
I mean, in a bad way. I think it's an interesting... What does crazy stuff constitute?
Glamping. We're going to glamp.
What is glamping?
Glam camping.
What is that?
Glamorous camping. Well, you go out, you pay, and they drive you out to the middle of the desert, and you sleep in a nice tent, and you feel like you're camping, but you're not really.
There's no deserts in London.
No, I mean, it won't be in London, per se, although we might camp in London. No, yeah, we've got... we're not going to camp in London. Definitely not camping London. God, that laugh just grades on you sometimes.
Is it coming through?
I hope you wake up in a fucking fever dream in Morocco, in the Moroccan desert, hearing that laugh cackling in the distance.
Sure, well, they have scorpions there, so we'll see what happens. So stuff like that, we're going to do probably ride a camel, I would imagine.
Ride a camel?
Ride a camel.
Okay.
And then we're going to
technically probably rent it. They are renting it, when they ride it.
Must be the DuckTales
yeah, going
movie.
bazaars. You need to see the things. We're going to Fez. We're going to... I forget the other two places we're going to Morocco.
Well, that's awesome. I forgot the London part. I saw on the thing you were going on vacation. Totally forgot that you were going to London.
Yeah, originally, we were going to only stay in London for one night, and I'm like, well, if we're going over there, might as well acclimate to the time zone to a degree, and then stay a couple days. And I'm just going to run around and pretend like I'm Harry Potter. I'm going to try to get tickets to the Cursed Child, but I doubt it's going to be possible.
You have to pay through the nose, probably.
Probably.
You'll have to pay at least £100 a ticket.
That's only $84 now.
That's like probably $130 or so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Over here, the Pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
Go Jets!
It's back. Football's back.
They're either 1-0 or 0-1 by
Doesn't
the time
matter.
you hear this. Or actually, if you're a Patreon, well, no, they play Thursday, so they'll either be 2-0, 0-2, or 1-1. That's it. There's the only three options they could possibly be. My guess, 1-1.
Okay.
Lost to the Bengals, beat the Bills.
And that's the pure one, Tim Gettys.
That's the most.
This seems like a classic Tim shirt. I
This is a
feel like I haven't
classic
seen
Tim
this
shirt.
one in a while.
It's been a while. It's been out of rotation. Been trying to bring it
Cowboy
back.
Tim shirt.
The Cowboy Tim shirt.
This is the shirt I was wearing the night that I met Gia.
Your girlfriend.
What was that?
Just why
What
are you
was
so
that?
afraid
Stop.
of the
What was that?
wide,
Stop,
Kevin?
Kevin.
Just leave it in the wide more. Kevin, I know you can hear me. Leave it in the wide. If you didn't know, this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can toss us a few bucks and get each and every episode early, along with a bunch of exclusive perks and other goodies. If you have no bucks to toss, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we post the entire show, topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big MP3 in video for your viewing/listening pleasure. You gonna drink my beer now?
I'm smelling it.
When are you getting back on the beer train?
I've never been on the beer train.
You Coors Light over ice.
There was a moment. There was a month of my life where I thought that was funny to do, and then I realized that beer is fucking disgusting, and that no one should drink it because it's poison that goes into your body and comes out of your anus.
Is that why I've been having so many wet poops lately?
Yeah, you gotta stop wet pooping.
Got them wet poops.
Get them wet poop. Tim, what's your topic?
So my topic is this little game called $1 Million Butt. You can find it over on roosterteeth.com/store, I assume. This was crowdfunded recently to the tune of over $1 million without a butt. But what's your butt, Greg?
My butt is to be 1,000% clear. They're not paying us to play it.
No.
They didn't order us to play it.
No, I wanna
Rooster
play
Teeth is
this.
not infringing on your kind of funny content. We just enjoy it. And we are on $1 Million Butt the show coming
We
up this
are,
season.
which will be live as the time you see this if you're not a Patreon user. As the time we're recording this right now, it is September 8th on a Thursday. And, actually, holy shit, this episode's going up way later, right?
Yeah, because
I'm
we're
super out
doing the GameStop thing in
Check
Anaheim.
out youtube.com/roosterteeth or roosterteeth.com. The latest episode of $1 Million Butt features me and Greg and one Jeff Ramsey doing the actual show. So this is a card game based off the show, where in the show you say you get $1 million butt, and you give some weird scenario and people talk it out, and then there's dramatic reenactments of it, and it's really funny. I think it's one of the best shows Rooster Teeth does. One of the best shows on the internet. Period. I'm happy we got to be a part of it. Our episode's fucking fantastic.
When we joined up with Let's Play, they said, "Oh, we'd love to get you on Rooster Teeth content. What do you want to be on?" And I said, "I need to be on $1 Million Butt because it is my favorite Rooster Teeth show."
And I said, always open.
That
That's
wasn't
what I
a
wanna be
thing.
on.
That didn't exist then.
I just want to be surrounded by those women and hang out with them in their cool set. I'm a little. Have you seen it? You've seen it. You've showed me.
I mean, I've seen a
obviously.
bit of it. It's really cool.
I'm jealous.
I
They
love
have an
the
awesome
intro to
set.
that show. Is
It's a dope intro. It
On point.
reminds me
Lower
of
thirds,
the
on point.
90s. It's amazing.
It's a good
all
time.
90s.
Anyway, $1 Million Butt is fantastic. So there's this card game. They put it out. They kickstarted it. Did super well. People really loved it. Their goal was $10,000. They ended up getting over $1 million. So that's really cool. I have not been to a convention since this has been out that I haven't seen so many people just playing at every Starbucks, everything. Like, this is the new Cards Against Humanity.
I was gonna say, to boil it down, it's like Cards Against Humanity, right?
So I wanted
Explain
to
the
play.
rules. Okay.
I wanted to play with you
Explain
guys.
the rules to us.
I've never actually played the card game, so we'll see how this goes.
That's one we did at some point. Was it just me by myself?
It might have just been
I
you.
just sat in my room with Portillo, dealing cards,
So,
Now, if only we had
licking assholes.
a camera that was hung above the desk so we could actually see this card game.
it's going to be a great old time. Setup. Each player takes 4 black trigger cards and 4 gold rule cards. Okay?
Sure.
All right.
Together, these make scenarios. Now pick a judge. The person carrying... Whatever. They're trying to make jokes, and they're not funny.
Come on.
Try harder, guys. 1. Players hand a full scenario, which is a trigger plus rule, face down to the judge. 2. One at a time, the judge reads the scenarios out loud. 3. Players attempt to glorify or downplay the scenarios. 4. The judge picks the scenario they absolutely would not do.
They wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Feels like apples to apples, like in some sort of way.
What's like Cards Against Humanity?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever even played
Oh,
that
it's
game.
all the same thing.
I think I
But,
probably
but there
have,
is a
but I don't-
difference here where this does require at least some form of skill because
So wait,
they're-
apples to apples, Cards Against Humanity is a copy of apples to apples too.
Isn't it the super adult version or whatever?
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
I see.
Yeah.
I think I have played that.
No one has original ideas anymore. It's okay.
No, I know.
It's all of this is, of course, a copy off of poker.
True. The judge picks the scenario they absolutely would not do, and this is the winner. The winner of the round becomes the new judge. Players then draw back up to 4 of each card type. Okay?
So we take 4. We always have 4 in our hand of each card type.
Yes.
Gotcha. Easy.
Yes.
Done. Let's do it.
Winner
Let
is
me
the
lose.
first player to win 5 rounds. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
I say that we get Kevin involved in this shit too.
Because who's gonna switch to the wrong camera? In the
Then you know
middle?
what? You're
What the
right.
fuck? What is going? I'm getting so small. Is this happening? I'm a boosted gloop. I don't know.
All right, fine. We'll do it without him. I was just gonna say he could be the judge, but I guess if we switch judges, that doesn't matter.
Do you want to play? Do you want to run back and forth with cards all night long?
No.
All right, cool. We're just gonna do the four of us.
I guess technically, if you wanted to shrink us and then just leave it like that, that would work.
What do you do when Kevin wants to play?
It's all to you
There
because
go.
you
Thank
shrunk us like Mike TV got shrunk and then sent over the waves. He's like,
Yeah, I'll pass
I'm
it.
so small. That was the joke, Kevin. I don't know what you're bringing to the table. Your own weird psychosis.
All right.
No.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pick you up. Oh, sorry. Thank you. So when we lay the cards down, gentlemen, I believe the focal plane is the actual table.
Okay.
So we flip them here. Judge
So
flips
you
them
can
here.
flip them there. Yeah.
I'll
if
flip
you,
every
if you
time.
put them
Doesn't
up
matter
here
who the
though,
judge is.
there's too much depth to fill in that camera.
oh wait,
It's
so
not
we
gonna
need a judge then.
That's
Who wants to be the
quite
judge of the first round?
I'll judge first round.
Okay, cool.
You can't judge.
work.
All right.
Actually, I guess you could. We'll let Kevin judge round one.
Kevin could judge all the rounds.
That's
No,
fine.
I don't like that because the whole point is like he could just he'll keep
would he
picking
get-
things that you'll know what makes him laugh, and that's how it'll work.
All right, fine.
That's why the judge has to switch. But for round one, Kevin gets to judge.
You guys, I hate you all equally.
So right now,
You're trying to find the one that you think that the judge, who is now Greg,
no, the judge for number one's gonna be
judge
Kev.
one's Kevin.
Big
The
Okay,
Kev.
so
judge
one
that
of each
Kevin-
card. Right.
Kevin would like least.
Okay.
Like
Least.
least.
The one that he would not choose.
Okay.
Yeah, the one he thinks we're picking.
would not do it
What
for
is
$1
the
million.
worst scenario for Kevin Coelho? Sadly, I don't have $1 million, but you have to shower.
Can you guys stop telling people I stink? Because they always give me hugs and they're like, "Oh, you smell really good," and it's like those fucking liars.
It's because they're giving you hugs at the beginning of the day.
Nope, that's
If
not
you
even
had
true.
hugs
A
at
little
the end
bit.
of the
So am I doing-
That's
am I
not even
putting it
true.
here?
A little bit.
Yeah, put him face down.
They would smell an old shoe.
Look at you. You're
This is
so
you. I'm gonna
old
switch.
and
I'm
short.
rotating everything around. Oh wait, Kevin doesn't know who's doing
Get
what.
this.
You're trying to give
You're
Kevin
really
signals
quite
on
quick
it.
at it, so it's not.
Well, I mean, look
Totally,
at Kevin. Look
you're-
at Kevin.
you're an expert.
All I'm trying to do is dupe Kevin. It's very simple.
My God, it worked.
All
I'm
right, you ready?
duped.
Kevin, you're the
Yo.
judge.
What's up?
I'm gonna flip them for you. Ready? So Kevin, $1 million, but
Put you up top.
What?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay,
put you
I'll come
up
in here.
top right.
Where do you-
there we go. Oh, look at that. Kevin,
Kevin, where do you want it? Kevin, where do you want it?
$1 million, but Kevin, you become the number one suspect in a murder case.
Okay.
$1 million, but there's more to it. $1 million, but a random kid claims you are their parent and violently cries when you try to deny it anytime you see a child. So you see a kid, and I'm assuming that kid then claims you are a random kid claims you are their parent and violently cries whenever you try to deny it.
That's pretty good.
$1 million, but there's a 10% chance the water in your next shower will be diarrhea instead
Oh my God.
when someone corrects you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Kevin.
10% chance?
You get corrected all the time.
Ooh.
$1 million, but everyone on Earth gets superpowers except you.
Now, okay, before you answer.
Sounds like Marvel.
We're
Now we're
supposed
supposed to argue
we're
about
supposed to
him.
discuss these.
I mean, for honestly, knowing Kevin, I would say the one he won't pick is $1 million, but everyone on Earth gets superpowers except you because he has the biggest fear of being left out.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
FOMO like crazy. For
you
this, I feel
guys.
like this is probably just happening right now. If I'm being honest,
Don't push it out of the frame.
I apologize. So this one, I feel like
$1 million, but you become the number one suspect in a murder case.
It's
Now,
100%
again,
possible that there's a couple girls from the mall that this one might be.
before we jump around for the
four as
murder
well.
suspect case thing here, remember, of course, Kevin is a minority, so the justice system is already stacked against him.
Yeah.
So that is pretty bad, Kev.
don't wanna be there.
That's pretty bad
He
already.
might as well be O.J. Simpson.
Might as well.
The kid crying. I mean, whatever.
The joke had so many things wrong with it.
A random.
I'm sorry.
I was like, he got off. A random kid claims you are their parent and violently cries when you try to deny it.
Again, that might be happening on any given day with Kevin.
Not with Kevin. No.
Kevin
No
has
one's ever claimed that he had any illegitimate children.
yet.
Yeah.
I pull out every time.
The thing is, he's young, so he probably didn't start having sex about 5-6 years ago. At this point, the kids have just learned language, and now they're going to start looking for him, actively searching for him on the internet.
And then again, when someone corrects you, there's a 10% chance the water in your shower will be diarrhea. And we all correct the shit out of Kevin.
Ooh.
Yeah, but Kevin's usually right when I correct him, so I don't think
Doesn't matter. It didn't say right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's how
But
correcting works, though.
I don't know.
I mean, you get corrected a lot.
but that's only a 10%
Hey,
chance.
But
of
the
it coming out
10%
as
chance of
diarrhea.
diarrhea.
Also, here's the thing, guys. I turn the water on,
Yeah.
and
You're
I
not walking
stand
in.
out there for a minute. And I think if it was diarrhea, I'd be like, nope, not going in there.
Yeah, that's the easy. That's an easy
No,
one
you
for me
look
to
in, you're
avoid.
like, nope, not gonna do that.
Well, you can
then
also
it's just-
there's a hot smell factor too that you would appreciate, and then you're like, that does not smell like water. It
Yeah.
smells
I mean,
like
I
baby
feel like
ass.
it'd be pretty clear if it was diarrhea or
Yeah.
water coming through. But then that's
No, it
still
wouldn't be
filling your
cle-
shower
Tim,
with diarrhea.
It wouldn't be clear. Diarrhea is not clear.
But it's brownish
You see what he did
yellow.
that?
Yeah,
You see what
okay.
he did there?
But you still need to clean the diarrhea from the shower.
Kevin, pick one. What's
No,
the
I
one?
gotta-
What's the worst? What wouldn't you do for $1 million?
Which one of these would I not do for
Yeah.
$1 million?
What's the one
I
there's
mean, no,
absolute-
let's go through all of them. Which ones would you do?
All right, Kevin, would you
do?
become the number one suspect in a
Oh,
murder?
yeah. Because, like, okay, I'm a suspect.
Yeah, $1 million you can get out of that.
Yeah,
you get $1 million,
exactly.
you spend $200,000.
Tell that to Richard Jewell.
I don't know who
Tell
that
that
is.
to
if he would
O.J.
take it.
Simpson.
Remember Richard Jewell? Olympics.
Tell that to your uncle.
Richard Jewell, I do the bomber.
94
the
Olympics.
bomber,
Yeah, he wasn't. He's the guy who found the
96
bomb.
bomber.
He found the
96
bomb,
Olympics.
and he was like, "Oh, hey, bomb everybody!" And like, "You're a national
Jesus,
hero."
I
And
had
they're
to,
like,
like-
"Wait a second, no, you did the bomb."
Wait.
And he's like, "No, I didn't."
Richard Jewell, I had to go in deep into my database. I was like, Richard Jewell. Richard Jewell.
I never forget a fat man. Kevin, would you do $1 million, but a random kid claims you are their parent and violently cries when you try to deny it anytime you see a child?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Really? That's a bad one.
I don't deal with that many kids.
$1
I mean,
million.
just think about how many kids you
We're at
see.
ceremony. We're getting smoothies. These children. There's so many children. They're all screaming that you are their father.
That's fucking funny. Are you kidding?
Kevin wouldn't care. He wouldn't.
That's a
I don't think he'd
Snapchat
skip a
video
beat.
every
I think
time.
He would just be like, one of you kids.
That's a good
needs to
point.
go get
That's a
Snapchat every
Snapchat
time.
video.
Did it for the
every time.
grams.
Look at him.
True.
Look at him crying. Fucking.
$1 million, but there's a 10% chance the water in your next shower will be diarrhea instead when someone corrects you.
Again, I turn on the water and I look. I do that now.
$1 million, but everyone on Earth gets superpowers except you.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
All right, that's the one. Who said
on.
this one? Damn,
That's a
Nick
good one.
Scarpino.
Got
You
me.
outsmarted me.
1 point.
The diarrhea one was mine. You outsmarted me.
Absolutely.
1 point to Scarpino.
I'm gonna give you that.
Keep him aside there so we
Okay.
can.
It's not
Now,
my
I don't
first
like the
time.
way you're reading them.
my
Is this the
point.
way they read them on the show?
Well,
No,
no,
the
the show is
show-
just you pitching your thing to it.
So, but
I'm
then-
reading them like Cards Against Humanity. Where there's a ... I'm filling. Am I doing it right? ... So I'm filling in what the yellow card
Yep.
is and then reading the
I
rest.
don't like it.
Because Cards Against
what did
Humanity is
you
usually
change?
just that blank
Well, because
line.
they make perfect sense if you read them in sequential order. Like,
You get $1 million, but anytime you see a child. Oh, okay. I see. I'll read them that way the next time. That makes sense. You're right.
it's just bothering me.
$1 million, but when someone corrects you. Okay, cool. I'm trained for the Cards Against Humanity way, where there's a blank
I
line.
don't know what
you
the right
insert.
answer is. I'm sure it's in the
I'm
No,
fucking
you're right. You're right.
instructions.
Whoa, you're right. It reads fine.
Jesus.
So deal me. We need.
So
we need
for Nick,
Nick.
Greg.
Okay, thank you.
Come on, Nick.
Jesus.
Use your fucking hands.
What's wrong with your hands?
What's wrong with yours?
Big dillweed hands. Thank you.
Dillweed hands. All right. So now
my dillweed hands.
you wait. No, Nick. You're the judge now, so you're not playing anything.
Oh, okay.
We're making scenarios for Nick now. Nick,
Okay.
fill time while we look.
But then so is Kev just not playing? This time?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I can pick one for Nick.
Come over here quickly and do these.
I mean, Kev can do.
No, this is going to be the long topic already. We don't.
Well,
need
then we
Kevin.
should have Kevin always judge.
Oh my god.
We can have Kev judge.
Oh my god.
Whoa. Still on. Whoops.
We're in the marching band. Ding, 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 a ding, 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 a ding, 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 ding. There we go.
Oh boy, I'll tell you, this game is fun, perplexing.
All right. You're the judge now, so you get to flip them. And
All right.
No. Great. You should still flip them because the camera's above you.
Okay. Okay.
Did the
everybody.
camera move? I don't remember putting a motorized mechanism on the camera.
All right. So Nick, you're judging. You ready?
Go for it. Ready?
$1 million, but
Yes.
when you walk up a staircase, you have to tell a mother that her baby is ugly.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I would do that for free.
$1 million, but when you climax,
Yeah.
you must try to convince someone that you were in the Twin Towers on 9/11.
Wow.
That's a rough one.
That's a hard one.
$1 million, but when you lose a sock, you must roam the streets doling out vigilante justice.
Oh, that's fun. That would just be a good stress relief. I'm gonna go with the middle one here.
The 9/11 one.
Yeah, that's
$1
what
million.
That's
But
the obvious
when
one
you
I would say.
climax, you must try to convince someone.
because it only happens arguably once a week, but that would still be 52 times a year that I have to tell someone I'm in the. I
mean,
forgot.
it happens-
I'm sorry, it's not sex. Yeah, that'd be twice a day.
There you go.
At least
There
2
you go.
times a day
There
I
you
have
go.
to
There
do
you
that.
go.
That would just be putting him out. I would get nothing done.
Sure.
Nothing done. I would be spending at
It's
least.
easy to find people to convince.
Oh, that'd be the worst. But it would be. I would just default to Colin over and over again. He'd be like, Nick, for the love of God, I know you weren't there.
Yeah, I
Never
haven't
lived
lost
in New
the
York.
sock in a
Never
long
been to the
time.
Twin Towers.
So one day he's almost got it. That's
Yeah.
me. So I get the point.
You get the point.
But yeah, the mother and the baby thing, big deal.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't pass that many mothers in the hallway.
You just call Eric Hart every time. You like put on your wife.
Yeah.
She got a baby, right?
Yeah,
You
they
got
all
one of
have
them ugly
now.
babies.
All my friends have babies now.
And then you'd go do the vigilante justice on your own.
I would do that just because it's a good stress.
That was
relief.
I just thought that was funny.
That's
No,
good.
it is
That's
funny.
really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I like it a lot.
All right.
A lot.
Now I am judge.
Now
but I
you are
still
the
need-
judge.
I
Now
still
you are
need-
the judge. Now.
I gotta pass Nick one.
Wasn't I? The,
Oh no, I
yours?
think I have.
I mean,
one.
I have to rebuild my deck no matter what. So just did it to stay relevant here. You
Wait.
know?
I thought you were only supposed to carry 5 at a time.
4.
I already have. You did it last round.
Oh right. That's
That's yours.
confusing.
That could have just been. Still, I don't need any more
I don't know
cards.
what this extra card
Stop
is.
handing me cards.
Yeah, I don't know what.
All right. I'm now the judge. So play as you see fit.
Okay.
I'm gonna shut my eyes. So I'm gonna see what you
damn
put
it.
where.
Damn it.
You mix them up?
Yep. Good. Okay.
All right. $1 million, but whenever someone greets you, the Nazis burn down your house.
God.
That escalated quickly. $1 million, but every time you see someone naked, the building you're in catches on fire.
That would suck.
There's a trend here.
$1 million, but when you hear a dog bark, flying monkeys appear and beat the shit out of you.
Holy shit.
We got ourselves a Sophie's choice up
yeah.
here.
That
None of
was
these are
pretty
good.
bad.
You guys stepped it up a
I
little
mean, you
bit.
got Portillo.
That's the
That
problem.
fucks
And he
fine. You
barks
had to
all the
kill Portillo.
time.
But then
Yeah,
it's like,
go
try to
Portillo.
imagine you're seeing someone naked, you're trying to get it on, and there's a fire. That's not going to bode well.
Well, I mean, all right. The middle one's no one's ever going to see you naked. So the middle one, you can probably just discard with,
Every
with no
time I
danger.
see someone naked, I'm peeping Tom on all over the place.
You just cover your eyes and
See, I immediately,
You know what I mean? You don't
thought
have
that
to
you were
see
gonna have
people
like I immediately jumped to a romantic moment. So you're just gonna see someone naked.
See it all the time, every day.
It's weird. We do live in San Francisco. There are a lot of naked old.
That's
dudes
true.
that
I guess you
walk
can't
around the
avoid
city.
that.
Mirrors.
But in
That's
that,
a tough
if
one.
I'm seeing them outside, I'm not in a building. That's the way around it, right? The building I'm in catches on fire. If it's sexy times, I just go
Go
have sex
outside.
in places I don't like.
I don't think that that's going to, be an easy conversation to have. Be like, hey, honey,
The first time I burn down someone else's house, it's a pretty easy conversation.
let's go. to
Hey, we've
Subway.
fallen in love, and this is the rest of our lives, and let's go burn down a Subway. I do
Yeah.
like where you think.
Yeah.
I like where you think.
I don't know.
Jesus.
But then the first one, I mean, the Nazis
The
are
Nazis.
specific.
I hate Illinois Nazis.
But how often does someone greet you?
Well,
Multiple times here. I
Every
mean, people would
time-
figure it out. People would figure out
every
here,
time
I
he
guess.
goes to a meet and greet,
Ooh, fuck.
Fuck, and that's your thing.
Yeah.
that is
That's
your thing.
it. Oh,
you can never go
shit.
to another meet and greet because your house would be. Although, yeah, no, that would suck. You should constantly be rebuilding your house and constantly.
And I mean, think
everywhere
about
you go
people on the
gets burned down.
streets. Hello.
Yeah, that
How
would
you
suck.
doing, Joe? In our neighborhood happens all the time. I walk in Easy Money. You're telling me Sam's not gonna say hi to me?
Yeah, fuck. You're right.
But my dog barks all the time.
I know that's
You
barks
could,
a lot.
but you could
They beat the
theoretically.
shit out of
You could theoretically crush his little voice box if you wanted to, or get him one of those little collars that, like, when he barks.
That's okay.
know what I mean?
You've turned me around on it.
Like,
That's
it-
right. Not the crushing the voice box. But you're right.
Or you can have it- you
I haven't
can have
really-
it taken out.
Yeah, they can cut his vocal cords.
It's
That's
any
that's
dog,
horrible.
though.
Yeah, but how often do you hear?
Fuck.
I mean, you hear
barks
dogs
all the time.
Yeah.
Crush
I
your
don't think
vocal
it.
cords.
Besides
No.
your guys' house,
Can't do it.
There's not really dogs barking around
In
me
the streets, you hear him all the
I don't hear
time.
a lot of
in the
dogs.
streets.
You don't
I
live in the
go-
streets
don't
like
go
I
out
do.
in the streets.
But they're also monkeys. Like, how much damage could
But
they
they're
cause?
flying monkeys.
Did you ever listen to that 911 call? That one monkey eating the girl's face? Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, they're not killing me. They're just beating me real bad.
Yeah, they're just beating the shit out of you.
I'll
But to
come
be-
back around. I got it. This is the one I wouldn't do. I feel like.
You would let your house get burned down by Nazis every
Well, no,
time
because
anyone said hello to
I'm gonna
you.
get out. I'm not gonna see people. I'm not going to see people is going to be the thing. I will be walking around in some kind of Pope mobile that keeps people from greeting me.
So you think that
I will have a security
do you
detail
think
that surrounds
it's
me.
less likely that people are going to say hello to you on a daily basis than you hearing a dog bark?
Yeah. Because again, it's not, I mean, like, you guys are my friends. You wouldn't do it. You don't want Nazis involved in your life. Trust me, all right? I've watched Orange is the New Black. You don't want them involved in your
they're
life.
hardcore.
And so then it just becomes of how do I spend the $1 million? And this is where the show comes in, where they do all the little shenanigans. If I'd have a security detail with a circle around me, explaining what's happening, like keeping people away from me, like the president. How many times does Barack Obama get greeted every day? Not that many. There's a lot of steps to get to Barack Obama.
All
I'm
the
going to use
time.
that thing.
Every time he walks anywhere.
He's the
people are like,
president
"Mr.
of the United
President."
States.
But I have $1 million now that I can then invest in
Not a lot of
Chick-fil-A's,
money.
$1 million.
Chick-fil-A's and make the money work for me. Yeah, I'm taking the dog one.
Got it.
Damn it.
You know my greatest fears, Portillo.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
The worst thing of my life just happened. Pepsi liked my tweet
Well,
Oh, here it comes.
about no taxation. Might be the first person in recorded history to ask, "Can I get a Pepsi?"
They're stoked about that.
Of course, they like to tweet. No one's tweeting about Pepsi. That's probably the first tweet that's come through the Pepsi Twitter account.
I wonder how
55
many
days.
people buy Coke compared to Pepsi.
I mean, probably I bet most people just don't give a shit.
Can one
It's,
down.
I bet people just buy whichever one's cheaper. And in this case,
Oh
I'm
wait,
getting
so we have
Pepsi.
an extra one.
I need one. Yeah, I need a black card as well, please.
Wait, so these are extra.
he's the judge.
No, but I still need to
He
recoup.
still needs to recoup. I need a black card.
Here you go.
Thank you.
These are extra, Tim, if you want to reuse them later. Because you gave us two.
Oh, okay.
Pow.
All right, I'll shut my ass.
Do 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 do.
I'm praying as well.
So should we just play to 2, or are we still trying to go to 5?
Doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
Oh, wait, you're not done.
I feel like how long have we been going, Kev?
26 minutes.
2.
2. All right.
I'm running to bat.
First to 2.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
Kev.
You can open your eyes, Colin Moriarty, and I'm going to start you off on the flip side here. All right. $1 million, but whenever you're hungry, you forget who you are for 24 hours.
Holy Jesus! I'll never know. Like 50 first dates.
It's up.
$1 million, but every time you hear the national anthem,
Oh no.
you
listen to that every
become a
morning.
totally out of control, compulsive gambler.
That's avoidable.
$1 million, but you have to become a sex therapist for your parents.
Yikes.
Yikes!
I mean,
The gambler one, I don't think.
no,
you're fine.
that's fine.
Also,
But
your
it's-
parents.
It's between. My parents have been divorced for a long time, but that means
So
I have
that
to be a
you're
sex
getting it
therapist
twice.
for their individual.
That's true. But at the same time, you know.
So that's
That wouldn't be
rough.
that hard.
But I feel like this one is just untenable. Like this
That-
isn't.
yeah, that's-
I have to pick this one simply as not happening simply because that's impossible.
You would die.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would never know who you were.
No.
No.
So this is the one I choose not to do.
2
one.
points to Nick. And we're done.
And we're done.
Kevin's in the fucking shitter.
Should we
so
play
let's
one more
another
round?
One more
Yeah,
round.
one round for fun.
All right.
Is Kevin pooping again?
I have enough.
I don't know what's going on. Is everybody? Do you have the diarrhea poops?
No, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm just eating too much, truth be told.
I already have enough. No one's
Do
listening.
you want another one?
Just take another one.
So now we're playing for you. You're playing. You're picking second place, I guess.
Oh, okay. I'm not playing. Second verse, same as the first.
Yahtzee.
I'll close my eyes.
Okay.
I like this one.
All right.
All right. Mix them up.
I'm mixing them
Mix them up. Mix them up.
All right. Here we go.
Ready?
Yep.
Go for it.
$1 million, but whenever you misspell something, oh Jesus,
Jesus God. This is it. I had to
your
take this one.
your upper lip smells like hot trash.
Oh, well, that's not too far from normalcy.
$1 million, but every time you brush your teeth, your mouth disappears for a day.
Okay. Okay.
$1 million, but every time you see a red car, you have to smell a stranger's ass.
This is a tough one.
That is
This is,
a tough
yeah,
one.
this is a Sophie's
That is a
choice.
tough one.
The toothbrush you can get around,
You mouthwash. You use mouthwash.
sure.
On.
And then when it gets to the point you have to brush, you just make
You
sure
just do it.
you've eaten a bunch that day.
Yeah, it's
And
fine.
you got nothing to do. You're just gonna
That's
chill out, play
pretty
video
easy.
games, watch movies. Hot trash or the hot trash is like it's gonna be bad, but like I don't think you get
See, I
to.
feel
Do you
like-
get to explain to the stranger what's about to happen?
Yeah, that's the thing. For me, the hot trash, I think that would actually inevitably help me in life because I'm such a poor speller.
But that's
right
not
now.
gonna help you.
I'm such a poor speller that it would force me to be a better speller.
Nothing can fix
If
that.
every single time I misspelled something or there was a grammar error, an error in grammar, I would
We're just adding different things.
smell like hot trash. I mean, I would use that. I would probably use this as a teaching tool. This I could get around. Smelling, that's a hard thing too, because smelling a stranger's ass, I love
Asses.
asses.
You love a good asshole. You're always telling me.
I do love a good asshole. I'm gonna pick. I mean, how many times do I see a red car every day? Probably once a day, maybe twice.
More
day.
than that, right?
You do
drive.
Yeah, I
to
guess I
work.
drive everywhere. I'd have to pick this one.
Yeah, that was Big Greg Miller.
That big Greg.
I didn't have
Miller?
any good yellow cards
Are we
because I had to
tied?
misspell, and I
We're
was like,
tied,
"Oh,
yeah.
that's Nick for
Oh
sure."
wow.
You want to have one off? You want to just do a one-on-one?
Yeah.
Let judge by committee.
Yeah. There's 3 of them. They'll pick.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's
you guys,
do that.
all right,
Vote.
Cool. All right,
Oh,
cool.
I
All
like
right.
this.
I like this. This is
All
fun.
right, so
Here, do you want a
Tom
fresh
discarded
new
it.
batch of
yeah,
cards?
give me everything. We're starting from scratch.
Oh, okay. I had some really good ones.
Well, you're fucked now.
Well, I'm an asshole.
Whoa. Bye, Kyle.
Here you go.
I'm done.
Good show, everybody.
All better.
This is
All right,
killing
so this is
your OCD, isn't
I know,
it?
I can't.
You can't do it.
There you go.
There we go.
Some
All
of
right.
them are upside down too.
Tim, talk a little bit.
Terrible.
I'm very excited about this. I want to see what y'all motherfuckers come up with. I expect nothing but greatness. I'm now awaiting it. I like this game. There's different ways to play too. So we were playing by the $1 million but basic setups, but there's also house rules. One's called cash amidst insanity, and one's you bet your ass. Like they have different variations and stuff. So you don't need to go as long, or you can play a bit more rapid fire, and you,
You
can
don't have
play
to grade
with
it.
smaller
It's
groups.
an A. One of yours quote. Colin knows what I'm talking about. Colin, you remember the Wonder Years?
Yeah, Kevin Arnold.
How you feeling, Nick?
Hold on.
Got some gems in there.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Mixing them up.
All right.
Don't look, Tim. You're
I'm not
one of the
looking.
judges. You were looking right at
wait,
him.
Yeah, I'm the judge.
All right, you guys got to vote now. You ready? Kevin, you ready?
I'm judging too.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's you 3. You got to vote.
I'm
and then
totally
I'll be
ready.
one.
100%.
$1 million, but whenever you use the word yes, you ejaculate cheese doodle dust.
Ooh.
But does it feel good?
Yeah, you're
It's
ejaculating.
ejaculation.
Yes.
What if,
Make
maybe
yourself
on the way
come.
out, yeah, it would be rough. It would be like scratchy. If you're real scratchy, dusty.
It's we'll say
I
it's
don't
a
know. That's
fine
either good or
powder
bad.
because cheese doodle, not that bad. You can also taste it. Look at
How is it not that bad? Or am I thinking? I'm thinking like Cheetos, right? That
Like
Cheetos,
Cheetos,
dust?
yeah, that Cheeto dust. It's a fine powder.
It's like sand. Think
Yeah,
about all the
that
sand you've
sounds
had
like
in your
sand,
urethra. You don't like that.
Well, it's not like hot Cheetos.
Ooh.
I don't
Maybe it
want
is.
that.
Maybe it varies.
Did you
could
say
be
think about all
fine.
the sand you had in your urethra?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
I
Greg.
I packed that in there. It
I know
keeps
how
it
you guys
fresh.
like that Star Wars movie.
All right,
You're
what's
out
the
there.
next one?
You're out there humping that thing like that fucking thing, chasing the Millennium
Tusken-
Falcon.
Tusken Raider.
It gets everywhere.
$1 million, but whenever you watch a video, you get pregnant.
Oh, no.
Oh
What?
shit!
No.
Junior, straight up junior scenario is what we got going on here.
That to me, that's a straight up no on that one. I would not do that.
You're
I
saying
But it's
no,
not
that's
physically
videos too
possible
much.
for you to get pregnant. You're a
But
man.
it happened Arnold Schwarzenegger in Junior.
That
That's not.
they
It doesn't say
injected a
unless you're a man,
uterus
unless you're a
into-
woman.
That's true.
It's saying you get pregnant. Period.
It's true.
He
It
has
is
to have a
true.
C-section every time.
Not down. That's. I mean, the ejaculation. I'm kind of enticed by. Pregnant.
The pregnancy, you could just keep a standing order of morning after pill and just keep taking that.
I don't think that's how. That's
They just
healthy.
could deliver it to you in bulk from Amazon.
Probably not.
Also, that doesn't work for men.
Neither does pregnancy, but
Kevin,
we're
go
in
ahead.
this world.
Thank you for that insight, though.
Neither does pregnancy.
I will go. I would rather not do the pregnant one, assuming
Oh.
that a man could get pregnant. I wouldn't want to do that one.
Okay, so you're voting this.
Yep.
Tim,
Pregnant. Yeah.
Kevin,
Yeah, I don't want that pregnant.
Greg Miller's the winner. Greg Miller's the $1 million
Greg Miller's
champion.
Made the monster.
Here's one.
You've made another monster out of him yet again.
Can I have your cards,
Yeah.
Nick?
I haven't won anything in quite some time, so it feels good to be back on track.
You're
You know what
back
I mean?
on
That's
track.
what I need
You
to
know,
be.
it's more awards.
Nick,
Yes.
what's your topic?
My topic comes from Patreon. Back on episode 107, the Back to the Future documentary was discussed.
Who submitted this?
This was submitted by Christopher Ball.
Thank you, Christopher Ball, for supporting us over on patreon.com/kindafunny to get your topic read on the show.
Everyone said they would like to revisit this once everyone has watched it. I would like to revisit the topic as I am watching the documentary right now. What is everyone's thoughts on this classic? Now, this was, I think it was called Back in Time was the name of the documentary.
The one on Netflix. I
Yeah,
talked
it's one on
about it, and you went
Netflix.
and watched it.
You talked about it. We went and watched it.
Nobody else watched it.
I didn't do
should
the
say
required reading on
This
this.
is
No,
a
me
this
neither.
is a topic from a while ago. So because I don't know what we're on now, but 107.
We're
was a while
past
ago.
107, right, Kevin? 145.
Um,
46.
I want to get your impressions of it too. Actually,
We're
what-
opening
what-
this up to Back to the Future.
Yeah, well, 'cause
correct?
I didn't
We're gonna
think
talk
the
about the movie
documentary-
Back to the Future. Don't
Big
worry.
fan.
You're
I didn't think
not
that
alone.
documentary was that great.
No, that's the thing either. I didn't hate it, but it was very much one of those documentaries of like, hey, here's what it's like to be a Back to the Future fan.
Right,
Like,
it was-
I redid the DeLorean and all this stuff. It's like, all right, cool. And like, I wanted more. Like on the Back to the Future Blu-rays, there's a great behind the scenes documentary with all the Eric Stoltz footage and all this different stuff. Like, that's what I want. That's
Yeah,
the kind of Back to the
that's
Future.
really cool.
But this was about fans. I can't knock it for that. I think it knew what it was about, but it just wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah, again, that was exactly my perception as well. Which was similar to the Ghostbusters documentary that we watched. I think you're in.
I mean, Ghost Heads.
Ghost
yeah.
Heads, yeah. Which was I went in expecting it to be a pretty like a documentary about Ghostbusters, and it was more about the fans of Ghostbusters, which
Yeah.
was it's still a good documentary, but it's just not what I wanted necessarily. But yeah, but I guess the broader question then is let's just talk about Back to the Future for a little while.
Absolutely.
A
It's
perfect
fucking fantastic.
movie.
Uh-huh.
Period.
I'd
Stem
go
to
as far
stern.
as saying perfect trilogy.
That's crazy fucking bullshit talk that I can't believe you
I
just
don't
came
think
out
so.
of your goddamn
Because-
mouth.
Well, so here's the reason I say that is that
'Cause you were a
all right,
kid.
No, but yes, 2 and 3 obviously have their faults, but I think in terms of one being just great movie, right? I'm happy that 2 and 3 happened, and I think that they do tell a cool story, and they continued it in a way that was very interesting. 3 was radically different than 2.
Yeah.
2 very similar to 1, but in a cool way, and it
Yeah.
added a whole bunch more. It was the same thing, but more, and I thought that was awesome. I don't think all 3 movies are equal, but I think when you look at them as a whole, it's a really like cool bit of 80s movies. You know, like I think that it kind of set a standard for what trilogies are in that era.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
Did you like Back to the Future, the cartoon?
Unaware of this.
I
Was
should
there a Back
watch
to the
it.
Future
Oh my
cartoon?
God, was there a Back to the Future cartoon?
Did he just keep going back and completely fucking up the time?
No, it was that
line
it would
every time?
basically Doc, well, it was Doc, Clara, and then the 2 kids were living in modern times with
Yeah.
Marty there as their like friend neighbor or whatever. And then Doc kept making weird inventions, and they do this. There was one where
I see.
he made him like he made this like prototype thing that would make you a really good baseball player, and Marty put it on, and then he got on a team, and then it broke, and he had to deal with that. Rookie of the Year syndrome, happens to
I hate
everyone.
that.
Love
Hate
Rookie
that
of the Year.
plot line.
Rookie of the Year, great film too, good movie too. But Back to the Future 1, great. And it's one of those I think underappreciated by me growing up. Because growing up, I have no frame of reference for what the 50s should be like. So I'm
Right.
watching that movie and I'm like, I was so excited for Back to the Future 2 because the future is so much more exciting to me
Yeah.
than the past was at the time. And so to get there and but then grow up, rewatch it, learn the movie's fantastic. That screenplay in movies, taught in classes and stuff in terms of like being perfect in terms of how a movie should be and what it should actually achieve. Awesome.
Yeah, there are only a couple things that stand out that you can even try to criticize the Back to the Future series on, and they're not really even worth talking about. But I will talk about them right now. What is this relationship Marty has with this
Doc.
old doctor?
Yeah, you don't think about that often.
You don't think about that often, but it starts with Marty being in the doctor's house in the morning.
Yeah, he swings by. He wants to use the amplifier. Why not?
Swings by. Just came by his house. Unannounced.
Knows where the key
has
is.
a key
Looking
to
for
the guy's
Einie.
house.
Einie's not there.
Does he have a toothbrush at the doctor's house?
No,
Some
this is
spare
somebody's
clothes that he
popping
puts-
off.
They share.
How they
Yeah.
learn this? Bob Gale's talked about this, and I think Zemeckis in other interviews
Yeah,
too. Like
I'm
when
just
you
teasing.
when you lay it out, like why are they friends?
Why-
what are they
where-
doing? Why would this old man be
At
hanging
what
out?
point did this old man decide to befriend this numbskull high school kid?
Yeah.
Who has no discernible talents for science whatsoever? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he goes, "Hey, I'm going to make this time machine that I'm sure will work. Let's call Marty, the 16-year-old idiot
He
kid
has a
that
video
just
camera. He knows how to
skateboards
use video
all the time."
cameras.
Yeah, I guess so.
That was a big deal back then. It wasn't like it is now, where we
it's
get all
true.
video.
Because my dad had a video camera. That was
Hit me. Keep punching me right. Keep punching me right in the flu shot. I don't mind.
glad you got that flu shot.
You still have the Band-Aid in your pocket?
No, this is a different one. Do you want this one in my pocket too?
How many shots did you get?
Can I flick it?
Eat it. Eat it.
Eat it.
Eat
cut my
it.
nails today.
Eat it.
Oh, I hate when you have
I
to
did
do that.
too.
I did mine
We
yesterday.
wait. All
We're-
three of
we're
us
all
did today?
synced up.
Did you do
I
yours
I
synced
did
yesterday?
mine
up.
yesterday.
I cut my nails
Close
today.
enough.
I cut mine this
We're
morning.
on the same cycle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Everyone always talks about how great Back to the Future is, and I will admit that it is probably one of the best movies ever made, if not one of the best trilogies ever completed. But there are some interesting plot holes in it. Namely, also, his dad sees an alien standing above his bed,
Yeah.
and the next day is totally okay with that. And he's like, "I saw Lord Vader. Great."
He was
Let's
into
ask this-
sci-fi.
Wouldn't that freak you the hell out, though? Especially in 1950s, not knowing what the internet is, not knowing what any of this stuff is, never having seen Star Wars. Little crazy shit. That's all I'm saying. Again.
It did. It motivated him.
It did, I guess.
He was
Motivated him.
into it. It'd be like if somebody came into my room dressed as a superhero,
Right.
and you know, was like, do this. I'm like, oh man, okay.
Would you?
No.
No.
But as a kid, you know.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is, as a kid, looking at the trilogies, when I first saw the movies, all three of them were already out. So I watched them
Oh.
pretty much back to back to back at Kevin's house, and it was fantastic. The first one ending and saying to be continued, that was like a mind blowing. When that motherfucking car like flew off, I'm like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
There's more of this. Like that is, and at that point, I thought every movie was like.
Do you know
that.
a little interesting piece of trivia on that one? Theatrical cut. You're in the theater. It ends. There's no to be continued.
Really?
It was that it did so well, they tacked that on for the VHS and all that jazz.
I didn't know that.
And they totally shit canned the original girlfriend and brought in Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
shit can her. She quit
She
acting.
decided not
She
to.
went
Didn't they also chicken? Oh, I see what you're saying. But before
Hmm.
they even released the film, then they already have a different Marty too. And then
Oh, yeah. Well, the Marty
Eric Stoltz,
commercial.
yeah, yeah.
They shot like a good portion
that's
of it.
so
for
incredible.
Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, to
That's
watch
so
that
incredible.
footage is so weird to watch.
what a
the
weird
dailies and
thing,
stuff.
man. It
It's-
must have been so expensive.
I don't
Why,
think I've
Kevin?
seen-
Why would you cut to that shot? Stay in the wide. I hate you.
I think that the two franchises are very similar when you look at Back to the Future and Ninja Turtles, the three movies that came out in the 90s, in the sense that, you know, the first one is the best, then the second one came out and it's the favorite, and then the third one came out and people like want to pretend didn't happen. But the growing up watching those, I definitely had that feeling of Back to the Future 2, I would fucking fight to the death is better than 1.
Oh, yeah.
And Secret of the Ooze, I would fight to the death is better than
you're
the first
nuts.
one. But then
Oh,
it's like,
no.
then when you do watch later, you're like, well, I'm
perspective
wrong.
on it.
I'm absolutely wrong.
The sequence in TMNT 2 where they're fighting over the ooze vial in that lobby is fucking awesome. I'll give them that.
The opening?
Yeah,
When
like,
they
I
jump
love-
off
I-
and they freeze and it says
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles.
That shit was. I was so excited
Hell
when
yeah.
that. But no, the first one's better.
Would it surprise any of you to know that just yesterday I listened to Go Ninja Go by Vanilla Ice?
Good.
No, it would not surprise me.
I went on a weird
You went into a weird place with it.
journey yesterday on the way home, and I was like, I'm in a great mood. I'm going to listen to some Vanilla Ice.
He's coming back.
And
with
at
a
one
vengeance.
point, Vanilla Ice, in his seminal song, Ice Ice Baby, says, I'm going to grab my 9. I don't think that really happened.
I don't think he ever did.
I don't
You
think
think he ever
Successfully
grabbed
grab
his
it.
9?
I don't think any shit went down that required him to grab a 9 in any, unless it was a 9 iron on the links.
Sure.
Do you think
sure.
we can get Vanilla Ice in this show?
I fucking guarantee we can get
100%.
him on this show.
Let's do it.
I don't think we could, but he had a rap rock album in the late 90s.
Yeah, the Too Cold that he remade, Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah,
and renamed it Too Cold.
I may or may not have downloaded a few of those songs off of Napster back in the day.
What blew my mind about Back to the Future, the original, growing up,
Yeah.
it's because I was a dumb kid, of course, is that I couldn't wrap my head around how they took these old actors and actresses and made them look young. Because when you're a kid, you take everything at face value. So I'm watching it, and I'm watching the 1985 part with Michael J. Fox and Lorraine and George, and they're old people. I'm like, oh, okay. And then when they went back in time and they were young, I was like, how are they doing this? What are they up to? Never thought they were taking young actors and actresses, aging
Make
them up.
them look old.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be the contrarian here, but I will. Back to the Future is a great movie, I think. Apart from the fact that it's literally impossible to go back in time and would cause all sorts of problems. That aside, it's a movie we can enjoy it, right? You can go forward in time, you can't go back in time. Sure. The movie's creepy as hell, and like fucking really creepy. One of the creepiest mainstream plots in a movie I can possibly ever
Bang his
think.
mom.
Going
Like,
back.
wanna
where,
fuck
like
him?
I can't get past that.
But
Like,
Colin, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. If your mom was that hot,
All
when she
right,
was
I
that
can't. I
age,
can't. No, I can't. I don't. It's too disgusting and unfathomable. I
I
don't
would've
want
stayed
It's
in
not
that car.
him trying to fuck his mom.
I would've stayed
It's
in
his
that
mom
car.
trying to fuck him, which is different.
The plot would have been real
all I'm
different if
saying
it was
is
really
if-
weird.
If
If
Colin's
Nick's hot
mom wanted
mom-
to have sex with me,
All right.
I probably would have done it.
I'm sorry.
What if,
But wait,
what if,
that's
what if
not
Tim's
the-
what if Tim's hot mom wanted to have sex? with
If any of your hot moms when I was like 16
But isn't
and
it
your,
your
mom
hot
was,
mom?
Yeah, it is.
I'm
100%.
joking around.
Yeah,
Just teasing.
okay.
I'm joking around.
So like that always really irked me about the story where I'm like, this is just the doc. Like, so the time travel thing, I'm like, all right,
that's
that's
why
fine. The doctor's relationship with Marty is like, that's weird, but it's fine. The acting's all awesome. There's a great actors in this. Michael J. Fox is a fucking G, you know.
He is a fucking G.
And like that movie is really a great movie, but the plot always really annoyed me. And I'm like, it's kind of similar to Ghostbusters in a way. And I hate that like shit on both of these movies because I know Greg loves them. I'm not shitting on them. I think they're both great movies. Where I'm like, I understand why people think they're great. I don't understand why people think they're like when I think of the 80s, I think of like The Breakfast Club. I think of
Sure.
Caddyshack. I think of like all of these, Back to School and like all of these like. To me, it's about two things. It's about real comedies, which
Rodney Dangerfield, apparently.
Yeah, it's about. I love Rodney Dangerfield. But it's about the 80s is about two things to me with movies, and maybe it's just the way I connected these movies. Maybe it's because I also have older siblings, so I kind of adapted their taste in movies. It's like the Brat Pack stuff is fucking the 80s to me. I love those movies. All the way up to like St. Elmo's Fire and stuff like that. I think those movies are awesome. And so that's one thing, and then like real like stupid comedies I think are like part of that as well, and so I go to that, and Rodney Dangerfield obviously a huge part of that. I never like go to these and the movies I even love from the 80s like Batman or something like that. It's 89. I love that movie. I wouldn't put it in that top pantheon. I always had this jumbled kind of pantheon of 80s films because I have such an admiration for nostalgia from these movies. I watch them through a lens of like I was a very young kid, and for some of these movies not even born yet. And I like that, and I don't get nostalgic vibes off of like Ghostbusters or Back to the Future in
They're
the same
fantastical.
way. And so I don't like, to me the best 80s movies is maybe something like Dead Poets Society or Breakfast Club or something like that, where I'm like, so that's kind of more what resonates with me. So I'm not saying those movies are bad. I'm not saying those movies are anything less than great. When you're like, what's a great movie? Is Back to the Future a great movie? Of course, it's a fucking great movie. But the plot bothered me, and I don't really consider it in that particular way. But I do think a lot of that has to do with the way I look at 80s movies, which is from a much more like very specific nostalgic lens, So like I look at the Breakfast Club's like school scenario, like realistic scenario, is like way cooler and way more immersive.
Well,
to
that's
me
a sign of the times movie, right? When that was, I mean, a lot of people argue that it's timeless, and I will be in that camp as well. That's an evergreen movie, but predominantly it was about John Hughes making a commentary about what it was to be a teen in that era of the 80s. Very reflective. So there's a lot of nostalgia baked into that, right? Is that it was a sign of its time. Like that movie has been remade multiple times, but you have to really rely heavily on the circumstances of. Well, I guess not necessarily for Breakfast Club. I guess that is kind of evergreen. I take that back. Ferris Bueller is a little bit more, I guess, sign of the times. But for the Breakfast Club, I don't know. Maybe you say
both those movies I think are there. Because as a kid you can drop in either of those.
You can, but I'm going to take back what I just said because I do feel like if you watched Breakfast Club right now. And you took out
why aren't they on their phones?
That's a good point, actually. But if you took out the costumes and say they weren't allowed to be on their phone, that would be just as relevant now. Everything they say would be just as relevant now, because it was about angst and it was about
clicks
not fitting
and this
in
and how,
and not feeling accepted and things like that. So, for me, Back to the Future holds a special place though because of the sheer creativity that went into that film, and that's one of those things where there are very few films today and that I watch and think, I want more of that, right? And that's probably a sign just that there's just so much out there that you're never really bored. But when I was a kid, it was like you'd see that, and then there would be this long ocean of nothing in between, like, a Back to the Future and another movie that was of that caliber. And so to me, like, that's one of those where you watched it at the end, you're like, God, I just wish there was like one more minute of this, right? Or we could watch another one, and then it's slow. You want to get to Back to the Future 2, and then you're like, God damn it, my only other recourse now is Back to the Future 3. Which we all can agree is not the best in the trilogy, but I'm going to watch it anyway because it's more of these characters that I love. Yeah. It's more of this time traveling gimmick.
I mean, I think with the movies, something that I've always found in the films that I put in the upper tier is that they follow rules really well. They set up rules to what their world is, and they stick to it. And I think that Back to the Future kind of did that. It made us really think about time travel. It was definitely the thing that got me thinking about if we were to go back in time, how would that affect things? And first time I had that conversation in my head, it reminds me of Inception a lot, where it's like that movie gave us something to think about and think about the rules that movie has to fit in. And it's like, we want more. Now, Inception, I think it's a good thing we don't get more. But with Back to the Future, I think that movie ending and then, going to the future in the second one, going to the past in the third one, that all made sense because it wasn't serious. You know what
exactly.
I mean? It is still very comedic and like kind of
when you moved to 2 and you changed the tenor
top.
of the movie and you changed exactly you amped everything up in a way, right? Who the characters were, made them over the top. The same thing we talk about in negative, I think, with like an Eric Matthews or a Homer Simpson. They got dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
Doc got crazier and crazier, and Marty got more and more like lost in his whole chicken thing and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
But as you amp that up, you still keep the touchstones of the universe, right? Like when we did, I always talk about that. That's when I knew how great Lego Dimensions was, right? when they came through into the Twitch stream with us and they debuted the Back to the Future content. And you kind of forget about like how much you know Hill Valley and stuff. So to be in the 85 Hill Valley and go to the future Hill Valley and go to the past Hill Valley and be in like these three scenarios where it's always based, like you're talking about like storytelling beats, right? And how they drive stuff home like that. The clock tower being there and Doc being there and all these like, you know,
The soda shop.
Exactly. And the manure and all these different like gags that are in a way lazy, that it's always kind of the same movie, but also endearing in the same way of like this.
Yeah.
In Back to the Future, the original, right? They do that in such a condensed thing where, you know, you're talking about it being a nostalgia part to then this fantastical part of like that whole first part of that movie of Marty and Jennifer, and she's gonna babysit, and she writes on the flyer like her number, the number for the place she'll be babysitting at, you and I love you, and like that's that part where it's still grounded in reality, where you understand like, oh, young love, being in high school, that kind of thing, and then tossed on the fantastical adventure. But then even that like that's where like, you know, like I feel like movies nowadays, right? I forget what we're talking, what if it was Independence Day or if it was Suicide Squad. When I leaned over, I'm like, that's gonna be important later on. They fucking they treat the audience like a bunch of idiots, right? And just pound them over the head with the information of like, this is what you'll need to save the world eventually. This is what it's going to be all about. Right. Whereas that is a movie, I feel like, where she writes it down and you crumple up the flyer and put it in your pocket. And watching Back to the Future for the first time, not now with everything we know, you don't stop to think of like, oh, that lightning strike on the clock tower is going to be critical to this entire story.
Yeah, it was a very those were very cleverly set up devices to help move the story along, which was and very well done and very subtle. I mean, by the time they got to 2, it was you could tell that they made a very conscious effort to be like, yo, we're gonna do these callbacks. It's gonna be really, really fun because it is going to have that sort of playful nature to it. Like we know this is a little bit more on the nose. We've already used the clock tower, but we've seen it now, and let's use it in a different way. And I think they did that really well. Also, the second one had hoverboards,
Of course.
which was
Hoverboards don't
when
work
I
on
was a
water
kid.
unless you got power.
I was terrified of hoverboards because everyone wanted one. And I didn't like physical exertion. And I thought to myself, if everyone gets a hoverboard, I'll have to get a hoverboard, and then I'll have to do something. And I don't want to have to do anything.
I understand
I rollerbladed for approximately 2 months. Threw them out after
You could have
that.
just watched Jaws 3D and been fine.
That's true. Or
Over
Rocky
and over.
8. What was it? Rocky
Whatever it was.
800.
Well, that was so weird when the Cubs almost won the World Series.
Yeah.
That's what happened in Back to the Future, and then that almost happened last year.
Well,
when
I
was
mean,
going.
speaking of that, in Akira in 2020, the Olympics are in Japan, and now that's actually happening.
Oh, that's crazy.
Here's the big question for you, Tim.
Yeah.
I'm going to you because you're a red-blooded male. You're wearing your Bounty Man shirt. You got the lumberjack beard. Hypothetically, you break up you open a door.
Narnia.
Your next what? You already do that?
The Narnia door?
No.
Nope.
You open up a car door.
Car door.
You
yeah.
find who will be your future wife.
Okay.
Being sexually assaulted by someone.
Oh, God.
You knock that guy the fuck out.
Okay.
You think, boss? You think 30 years later you're gonna let that guy? You're gonna want to be around that guy? Let him work on your car?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Again,
a
I'm saying
solid
there are some very big problems
Yeah.
with this film. Big problems.
But it's a movie, and
But it is
like
a
that's the thing is you're right.
It was a different
You're
time. I understand too.
Let's
Leave it in
also
there, but like
not-
it's a funny joke.
Let's
you
not
know?
Sure.
let's not lament on the fact that Doc was working for terrorists at the very beginning of the
Back
film.
then we didn't think they could do anything.
Yeah, I mean, back then terrorists were just, you know.
Gave him a Bob
It
Full
was just
pickup
a- it
bar.
was just a buzzword.
Yeah, he fucking stole plutonium. He was supposed to make them a bomb,
A nuclear
right?
bomb, yeah. He
They
just filled it
hired him
with
to make
ping
him a
pong-
nuclear
ping pong
bomb, and
parts.
he just thought it was okay
pinball
to be
parts.
like, I'm going to use that for my
weapons grade plutonium.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like I love watching. I don't know when last time you watched Back to the Future was, but I love what like the Libyans, slam into like a photo booth, like those things that used to
Yeah.
like develop photos. They're not dead.
No, they're coming back.
You jump into the future and leave them in the photo booth, and Marty comes back, and Doc opens the vest, and everybody's
Right.
like, "Yeah." And I'm like, Libyans are getting out of that booth any second now, pissed off with their AKs still.
And if not, they're probably going to try for you again. Now, I granted you've mastered space-time travel at this point, but if you fuck up once, those Libyans are not going to forget. They're
Yeah.
not going to forget.
Oh,
And
they
as
don't
we
forgive,
know,
they don't forget.
Libyan terrorists have only gotten stronger in the last 40
They're
years.
the worst.
They're the worst.
Colin,
Yes.
what's your topic?
Showering. Specifically 2 questions.
Sure.
How often? And then, what is your ritual? Now, I asked the how often because I stumbled across some weeks ago what I would term a disturbing topic on our Facebook group.
Don't fucking look at me.
Kevin. Well, I didn't look at you.
No, Tim did. Tim
Oh.
looked at Kevin.
That's
a no-no in this place.
And people were like, "How often do you shower?" And I, without even looking, I just wrote, "I'm like 2 times a day, like 2 times a day, right? Like
Yeah, get all the bacteria
at
out.
least once a day, but often 2 times a day. Not always, often." And then I was disturbed because in this thing, there was really a strange amount of people saying once every other day. And I'm like, that's fucking disgusting.
Gross.
Now,
Stinky.
maybe not in 1850, maybe not even in 1930 would have that been disgusting. But this is 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Now, to each his own. If you don't want to shower, sometimes people just lounge around over the weekend. They don't shower from Friday night,
You're a little
Friday to
stinky
Sunday, or
pinky,
whatever. It's
that's
like
fine, yeah.
that's fine. But people were making arguments, being like, because the argument was like, my child doesn't want to shower every day or bathe every day or something like.
Who the fuck cares what your child wants? You're the parent.
So like they're saying when you're younger, I guess you don't have to, and I don't remember. I feel like I bathed every day when I was a kid, but people were making an argument for adults, and I'm like, if you get up on a Monday morning and shower, go to work, come
Yeah,
home,
I'm
go to
visualizing.
work on Tuesday, come home, and then shower on Wednesday, that's weird.
I agree.
And I want to see if you guys agree with that premise.
Oh, sorry.
But then I also want to see what your particular rituals are, because shower rituals are a very personal kind of thing. But I also feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I do the same exact thing in the shower in sequence
Me too.
every time I'm in it.
Oh, every time. Yeah.
So I'm curious.
Wait, hold on. So
let me pitch this
I
first
want to know
question.
the
to
day
you as well.
first. Yeah. Tim, how often are you showering?
How often? Once a day, for sure. I would prefer twice a day, but I don't got time for that. I used to do that.
Why were you grinning and looking at Kevin? How often does he shower?
Because so Kev, this has been an issue in
fucking
me and Kevin's
bullshit.
life since the day I was
When I
born.
was a little kid, sure, but now it's bullshit.
I mean,
Now people hold him accountable. He would just not shower, just straight up like, you know what?
I like baths.
Until someone forces me to shower, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, I love it. I love showering.
That's the thing,
It's fun. It's great.
it
It's
feels
all
so
warm.
good.
It's amazing. But yeah, Kevin not
Hands
down
can
for
go
the
everywhere.
showering. And then it wasn't until Paula, God bless her heart,
No.
that
No
she
way.
No, he's
forced
lying.
him to be on some form of like
That's
routine.
a lie.
when did
I
you
don't know how
when
much
did you
of a
get
lie
on
it
a
is.
when did you get on a schedule for showering,
I
Big
don't
Kim?
know.
I mean, to be
Probably,
real, I don't
like,
think
high
he's on a
school.
schedule now. Like,
Like high
I've
school?
The amount of times that I've seen grown woman Paula talk to grown man Kevin and say you need to shower,
She says that shit all the time.
it's upsetting.
To be fair, I am covered in sweat a lot of the time.
That's why you should
What
shower.
point are you making?
Because sweat after a couple days makes stinky.
No, but I shower every morning and it sucks. I still.
Why
to
do
this
you
day-
hate it?
How do you hate showering?
You swim like a
man.
dolphin. You're like a dolphin
I
in the
gotta
water.
I gotta like get up. I gotta go into the shower.
don't
I gotta look
enjoy
for a
it?
fucking towel.
You don't
No.
enjoy the hot
No.
water just fucking
Oh,
running
I don't,
over you.
yeah,
It's
I don't
so
have.
weird.
I don't shower in hot water.
He doesn't do well with hot water.
Oh my god! Or just
Why,
the
wait,
swims.
why does
he
he? Why
loves
don't you do
swimming.
well with hot water?
Hot tubs, he like gets all weird.
it gets
like,
me really like I
Lightheaded.
start sweating.
Oh, it overheats you.
and then
Don't turn it up
yeah.
that hot. I do the same thing. I got to
that's
keep
the
the
thing.
water hot, but not hot.
No,
But you
yeah.
shower once a day,
Yeah, I shower once a day every morning.
and Nick, you shower once a day.
Yeah, at least once a day.
Yeah, because I
if
can't-
not twice.
I suffer
I'll
from
go
dry
without
skin. I
sweat.
feel
I
like
gotta,
Q
I gotta
would
give
definitely get me.
a real talk shout out though. Like I shower once a day. I used to shower twice a day, but like there will be days. Like shout out
Yeah.
to those
Oh,
like
sure.
days where I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
get to do shit. And holy crap, if I'm busy doing something, if I'm editing videos and stuff all night, I am not showering, and that's a problem when you've put this much hair product in your head.
Yeah.
It's the thing about it is, and I'm not trying to be too judgy, even though I am, is that there are days like that, right? But my day does not begin in a real way until I'm in the shower and I get out of the
mine
shower. Like, but so what I'm saying is that's a lost day.
What's weird
right?
about
like, that
you
day is gone.
is the fact that you'll shower at like 11:30 sometimes and then shower again in the morning. That's the one that'll get me.
Yeah, oh yeah, I shower at night because because sometimes I can't get into my bed if all right, so I always shower in the morning, always, and then at night if I feel like either I'm bored or I just feel like showering because it's fucking fun, or I was sweaty or I did something that day,
Yeah.
then I'd shower again because I can't get into my bed knowing that there's some sort of filth on me.
Sure, like
you
the
know,
Ryan Clements method.
exactly. It's just
I gave up on that a long time
It's just
ago.
common sense.
My bed's just nasty. So I'm cool with
And
that.
you're making
My,
it
thing-
nasty.
my mom, not even my mom, actually, she kind of left me alone. But everyone else around me used to give me a lot of shit for how often and how long I shower. And everyone always makes like masturbation jokes. I have never touched myself in the shower.
Well, you
That's not
have,
what
but
I'm
you
doing
haven't
there.
touched yourself.
I mean, I have never ejaculated in the
Sure.
shower
That's shocking.
unless someone else was in there with me.
Sure.
You know?
I mean
You're missing out.
I did a lot of exploration. as a
No,
young man in
I've
the
never
shower.
been a shower masturbator either.
Oh, I mean, I don't. That's not where I look to masturbate. But when you're a young man exploring his body for the first
Sure.
time, that's one of the only times you feel like you get away with the exploratory nature of
What's this
discovery.
all mean? Yeah,
That's
yeah,
when
yeah.
at each and every. I mean, I think it's a rite of passage for most kids to understand the cause and effect of the shampoo master.
Oh, yeah,
See, and
absolutely.
this is where it's
The
like
causality,
I
absolutely.
felt like for some of this was deja vu. This is just the 2016 shower conversation. Some of this has been talked about.
We
before.
have- we have
We've
talked about this.
we've talked about masturbating in the shower and shampoo.
And we talked about the more farty.
Yeah,
and
but-
when you said I have a thing I do,
Peeing in the shower was the topic.
but then you said
last
I have a
week.
thing to do that I've heard it. Before. Now,
ritual?
granted, you and I spend 20 hours a day together.
So this has been split into two topics. One was peeing in the shower, and one was Nick's hair ritual.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's where we're
But
at.
so all right,
Don't
so
get me
we-
wrong. I think we're treading new ground. I have a whole new shower regimen I've been using lately. I'm all
Good
about
for
talking.
you.
Yeah.
I can't change my shower regimen. In fact, if I do something out of order, I have to start again. Now, because that's just a little bit of my OCD at work. But what I do is I get in the shower and I brush my teeth.
Yeah, I
the
still
first
think
thing.
that's weird.
Well, I brush my teeth in the shower.
I'm with you.
I'm not against it. I just
It's an amazing.
it never ever
it's an
it never
amazing-
occurred to me.
You let the water just soak over you, and you just spend a few minutes and you brush your teeth in the shower. I love it.
Are you talking into a microphone or are you just
Kevin,
talking?
we already know you're against anything that has to do with a shower. or
Hey, is there
cleanliness- or
soap and water
cleanliness.
involved? No, thank you. I'm Pigpen 2016.
Like, do you have to just trick him into,
Why,
into
guys?
the shower?
Why spread
Yeah.
all these
Like
fucking
you're like, Kevin,
lines?
you're gonna get
The
on this
stick with
plane.
little hot dog
yeah,
on
he's
it.
like, oh, get that, and then it closes in on him, and then like
Look at you guys.
so starts showering.
Oh,
So I have-
scrub
funny.
brushes.
I have
scrub
two
brushes.
different rituals.
Yeah.
The primary shower is the morning shower. The evening shower is different. All right. So the primary shower, get in, brush your teeth, and then I take the shower, poof, and I like using bar soap. Love bar soap. Love specifically Dove for
Zest,
Men
okay.
or Irish Spring.
Irish Spring.
And they have the Irish Spring for
Shout
Men
out
now.
to
It's
Amy
pretty good.
Gills.
Oh, Michelle.
And I get it all foamy, and then I
Oh,
start with my
Michelle.
neck. I avoid my face and my hair. Start with the neck, work my way
Neck, your
down, the
back,
body all the way
pussy,
down. Yeah,
crack,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And then I wash my hair,
Yeah.
and then I take the bar of soap again, and this time I get spots that I feel like I didn't get adequately with
Grundle.
with the. Well, we're gonna get to that.
The stink
because
parts.
I have a thing that I've added on an addendum recently.
Okay.
That I was comfortable adding onto the
I was
process.
gonna say you did change. Yeah, see, we've evolved.
I clean behind my ears, like my ears. I get a little finger in the belly button, Kevin.
yeah. Smelly belly.
And then I wash like my face, and then I wash all of that off. Now the addendum was the secondary shower. If I feel like I didn't do that much, but I feel like I need the shower, I get in the shower, I brush my teeth, right, and then I just take a bar of soap and I just wash my armpits and my crotch and my ass, and that's it. Because of what you said, which is the dryness
The dry skin.
of doing it twice in a day. So you don't want to touch the face again. You don't want to maybe go on the arms and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But then I took that and then I added it to the primary shower after washing my face. I let everything go off or whatever. And then I'm like, I'm not clean enough in these primary stink
This is
areas.
the primary stinky pinky.
So then I have to go back with the bar of soap, do all of that. Then I wash all that off. Then I get the fuck out. Okay.
Interesting.
So that is the process by which the shower is taken once a day, the beginning and the end. And that's why I feel like the secondary shower, even like the 11:30 shower, and the rare tertiary shower, by the way, which happens once in
Does
a blue
happen.
moon. I feel like that doesn't really count in that regard because I'm basically just getting myself
Wet.
exactly. I got to get wet, and I got to just let it all kind of,
sure.
you know. So that's the process.
So yeah, my thing has been standard for a while. Get in there, get wet, shampoo right away, conditioner twice a week. I used to do it every day. Fran Mirabella nearly had a heart attack when I told him that. He said, "No, you do it every other day, tops,
Max.
twice a
Yeah.
week." And I'm like, "Well, I'll take your
This is
hair advice."
conditioner or shampoo?
Conditioner,
Okay.
shampoo every day, conditioner twice a week. When I feel like it, let it happen.
Let
Right.
it flow, yeah.
Then it's the bar soap, Dove unscented, all over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this thing right. Put it down.
Why unscented?
I didn't like the scented ones for a while. Here, stick with me because we're about to get to a little bit of that. All right, down. Then the new thing I've added is the loofah on a stick. Now I had the poof on the stick for a long time. Still have it in there. It's just chilling out, getting moldy, I'm sure. But now I got the fucking, hey, I stole a piece of coral reef and I shoved it on a stick and it's fucking ready to go. Because for some reason I started getting the backney. And I started getting a little buttony too. And I was like, that's not normal. And I've been using a different bar soap. So I moved the unscented to see if that was getting me. But I was still getting it. Plus the bar soap, I'm missing key areas and the poof loofah wasn't working.
Do you put the loofah in your ass sometimes?
No. I'll get to the
That's
ass in a
disappointing.
second. I'll get to the ass in a second. Then I take down the coral reef one here, right? I got this Neutrogena body clear stuff. Put it on there. You always rub it. You want it to get sudsy. It doesn't. The shit isn't here to fucking play around. It's here to kill the shit. Then I can do this and do this. Rub it. Then I take it like this. I palm it from behind, obviously, the coral part, and I go on the cheeks. I go on the
Scrub
back of the
them
cheeks
cheeks.
here, right there,
Yeah.
right there.
I feel you.
I'll tell you what, cheeks are cleared up, perfect. Back's better. It's getting.
Good.
They're still little ones. I'm not. But I
No
think
one's
it's just
perfect. No
it's
one's
more
perfect.
about it's more about the scraping. I think you know what I mean. It feels good
Yeah,
too.
you gotta be
It feels
careful.
really good
You
when you
gotta be
turn around.
careful.
When it hits the water, hits it. Then I put the loofah. I rinse the loofah. Put it back on there. Then back to the bar soap. Then you soap up the hand. Then you get in the acid. You get in there. You clean that
Yep.
bad boy out. Wash that hand off. Then you clean the hand again.
Feel ya.
Then I'm out
Sniff
there.
it, then you wash it off.
No, I'm not
okay,
sniffing.
I'm
You look at it.
I'm sorry, I
Meanwhile,
didn't
I've
mean
got
to
the
know
shower speaker going that one of the fans from Kind of Funny told me to get. I got the iPad kicking out my Spotify playlist. Yeah, whatever happens, happens. There's some Ghostbusters 2 on there. Dun, 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 dun. There's Ghostbusters 1, but you understand.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I mean, I once a day usually for me. Sometimes 2 if I go do a physical activity that I feel like got me too sweaty.
Deserves it.
Because I'm with Colin also. I don't like to get in. I don't like that feeling of getting in clean sheets and there's a slight friction that shouldn't be there. And you're like,
That film,
I'm
that
a little
film.
sticky. I need to get out of this and go get this stickiness done. But I don't sweat that much unless I'm doing hard work like building a studio. What up?
You're Mecca.
So normally once for me in the morning is right. Now what I don't get are the people that shower at night and then go a full 24 hours after that thinking it's okay because you sweat at night. You got 8 hours of bacteria that's accumulating on your skin, right? Then you get up in the morning, your hair's all fucked up, so you got to put more stuff in it. And then you go to work, and I always notice that people, and maybe it's just me, but I don't think so. I think it's them. There's a funk to that. There's a smell of people you can tell didn't shower. Like if you go to
them night showerers.
well, you know what I mean. Like you go to the gym in the morning, for instance, you can always spot the dudes that didn't shower before they go to the gym, and I hate that. I can't stand people that think it's acceptable to just get up and be like, I'm gonna go work out anyway. So why don't I go to a yoga class right now? I
Wait, no,
don't need to
that's
shower.
as an outsider to your gym world, that sounds like that would be totally fine.
That's unacceptable because you've got all that sweat and nastiness on you from the night before, and then
They're
when
not
you,
that much
but
nastiness.
then
from
when
the
you go
sleeping.
to sweat, all that stuff is amplified. And specifically in yoga classes, like if you go to a yoga class and you haven't showered that day, you should deserve to get thrown out because you will fucking reek by the end of it, and everyone in a 5-person radius of you will fucking hate you. That's just the way it goes. So when you wake up in the morning, shower, get that ham smell off your skin. So Uncle Nick
You
doesn't
say
have
ham
to
smell?
Yeah, because like a lot of people, it just smells like ham. White people smell like ham.
First
It's
off, ham's
true.
delicious.
No, not when you're smelling it on a
You're telling me you
60-year-old
don't
man.
want you don't want some downward dog with a side of ham. You know
I don't
what
want
I'm
to
saying?
stare into a man's asshole and smell ham. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? It's my as
To
an
each their
American
own, to each
living
their
in this
own.
in the country that invented freedom.
It's true, we did that.
I don't want. I don't think I should have to be subjugated and relegated.
They're
to
trampling your
smelling
rights.
ham on
They're
people's
trampling your smell
assholes.
rights.
That's just the way it goes.
All of my friends do that, the night showers.
I hate it.
And I've never understood it. And I've always been
Smell
like,
them next
I
time.
felt like I was the
you
outsider and I
smell a
was
little
wrong.
weird.
But I'm
You
like,
smell a little
no,
weird.
I'm not
because
wrong. This is the right way to
sweat
do it.
has a smell to it, and if you sweat when you sleep, that cakes onto your skin and then it bakes.
Absolutely.
your body heat bakes
You're
it.
getting basted like a
You
ham.
smell like a baked ham. It's disgusting.
honey baked. There's
It's normal. Honey baked's fine.
I hate honey baked ham. I like the ham
the
that's right
normal
there.
ham.
I like the salt on it, like the salt cured ham. I don't need that honey shit.
like the
I'm a
honey
ham
has a little
fan in
touch to it.
general.
Can
but
we
I
make
mean,
a ham?
I get the smell.
Jambon.
Jambon Jamapel.
Damn, son. Yeah, I same ritual I've always had. I just get in there. I'm very particular about the temperature. Like I like it to be pretty damn hot. Like if I want it to be, so if you turn it just a little bit more, it's scalding.
Yeah.
So it's just like it needs to be that perfect level.
If it hits that one spot on your ass, you're like, ah!
Yeah, you got to be careful, not let it like touch your balls, or
Your
else
balls, you
you're
got
done.
to ease into it. Yeah.
I like
Balls have to
that, and I like the shower heads to be the ones that just kind of like destroy you.
Yeah.
like I like that like
You can
one
feel it
stream
scraping
just
off the
freaking
skin. Yeah.
like just pounding against you.
Please
How's
give
that
it.
again?
Please give it and send it to me.
That's all that I want is just
No,
it
not do it,
pounding
not do it.
against me. Because like I don't like it when it's just that light little trinkle. Like I feel like it's not getting anything done, and I feel like it's just kind of relocating my dirt.
Now-
That's why hotels, man. I'm like, God, if they don't have the turning thing, I'm fucking done.
Now I agree with you that I hate the low flow shower heads, but I do love those rainfall shower heads. Like when you get into a nice hotel and they've got the thing over there and it just gives you like all
Only
the rain.
it needs to be strong enough. That's my thing. If it's strong, but my problem with that though is maybe I got some sensitive lips. It always makes my lips feel weird.
Well, because
when the water's getting on it, I'm just like,
that is weird.
not-
That is a
I
very
don't like
strange thing you just said.
I don't like it at all.
Sorry. I gotta stop and we gotta call attention to that.
So wait, the powerful shower head you don't mind hitting your lips,
No,
but the rain.
because it's when it's that little trinkle.
It tickles,
It's
it's tickling
the
your lips.
trinkling on my lips, and I'm not a fan of it.
Okay, you're
it doesn't
allowed.
feel good. I mean, it's one of those things that's like, it's really no, it's just really. It makes me really. It feels like I'm raw. Like the only way I can put it is like when you are just going way too hard in intercourse,
Yeah.
and things are starting to feel real rough down there.
Chap,
put on
like
your
a
lips,
chaps or like a
and
chafing.
it's a shower that's doing it.
Your
to
lips
me.
feel like a dry vagina.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty much. Yeah. So it's not even
Fair
not
enough.
even not even dry. It's just like overused.
Right.
Yeah.
A tired
Your
vagina.
lips feel like a used,
like a
tired
used-
vagina.
Yeah. So it's pretty bad. But then if I can get past that, if the temperature's right and the strength of it is right, then I'm ready to go and I will get in, totally get wet, get all the nasty shit out of my hair, of which there's a lot. Then I will take the little like loofah thingy.
Yeah.
Actually, first off, I do a rinse down, rinse out all the problem areas, just to like start the process. Then I grab my body wash. I'm not a bar soap guy
Okay.
at all. Bar soap kind of creeps me out because it's like it's just sitting there and then
Sure.
there's just funk on it all the time.
Sure.
So the body wash, I'll hit the little pump, put it on my hands, put it on the little loofah thing,
Yeah.
loof up the armpits, loof up the dick,
Yeah.
loof up the little butthole area. You know,
Same
and then-
loofah, just straight up on it.
Well, but I mean, I'll loof the cheeks, right?
Okay.
I get in there with the hand.
That's fine.
Get
Just
in
making
there
sure I
with the
understand
hand.
what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get in there with a hand. You got to scrape out the peanut butter.
Yeah.
You got to get that done.
Damn. So after that process is going on, I will move on to I'll then rinse again and clean, ending with the armpits because I feel like they're the cleanest bit of all that's going
Of
on.
the dirty parts.
Yeah. So then I'll clean my ears out. That's real important. Clear the face.
What's cleaning your ears like? Look like using
I don't
loofah?
know,
Your
just
finger?
kinda, more finger.
I'm a
It's
Q-tip
finger
guy.
game.
I like to use the Q-tips.
I don't like
Oh
to
yeah, I
stick
do
them
that
in
as well,
the-
but not in the shower.
That's post shower.
yeah, well, that's why I'm saying like my shower. I'm not doing much to my ears.
Oh yeah, I gotta wash it. Gotta wash that.
I'm an ear washer.
Well,
Yeah.
behind the ear, sure.
Gotta wash it.
Then you brush the teeth. Oh, I
the
skipped
shower or
it.
outside
Before,
of it?
you shampoo your hair before the
Loofahing.
before the ear cleaning. Okay. Yeah. So that's what really cleans it before I start touching my face. So shampoo every 3 days, condition. But then
Did Fran teach you
brush
too?
your teeth. Yeah, I was with you. It was VidCon 2012.
Yeah.
Then I just let it all wash over me, and then I just stand there for as long as humanly possible
Yep.
until it gets weird.
Yeah, I love.
I want to just be in
I have-
there until the hot water's gone or until someone's making me leave.
I have an odd pre-shower thing that I do. Well, I'll start the shower while I'm still sitting on the john, having just done whatever business needed to be done that day.
Jerking it.
Sometimes it's number one, sometimes number two, sometimes it is jerking it. But I like the sound of the shower. It's very relaxing to me. And I think it's because I was born in January, and I feel like it was raining that day. And when I came into the world, I was like, this is the world. Very relaxing, whatever that sound is. That water hitting the window outside of where I was born must have just been, instilled in me. But I like that. I find it soothing. And actually, the real reason is because when I was a kid, I used to fucking hate getting up for school. And so my brother and I don't think my brother liked getting up very much either, but he always had to get up first because he was the oldest one. And so I would wait to the very last minute, and my mom would either yell at him or me to get in. And honestly, it was if he got in first, I would hear the water going, and I would know that I could sleep for another 15 minutes because my brother took fairly long showers. Now that came, of course, at a price because then I also like taking really long showers. I like to just stand there and do nothing and just not be able to answer an email. But then my mom would yell at me and be like, "Get out of the shower! Stop playing with yourself! Stop playing with little Nikki, and get out of the shower."
You didn't have email when you were hanging out with your mom.
What, when I was 15?
Yeah.
Totally email. It
No,
was
you
1995. It was AOL.com.
And you had to answer.
I didn't have any fucking email. I didn't have any email. I still don't answer email.
No, we're well aware, being your business partners. Final topic is mine. And it comes from
Holy
patreon.com/kind
shit.
of funny, where Aziz gave us money to get his topic read. And he says, when is it okay to let go of friends or bad breakups between friends? So when is it okay to let go of a bad friend, I think is basically what he's saying. When's it okay to end a friendship? How do you know when it's time to end a friendship?
This is a very dark question.
It is.
Because things can get pretty
happens to all of us,
real
though.
with it. Yeah. I think, in my experience, you got to really give, you don't have to, but I think that you should give your best shot more than 3 strikes. Like, I think it's like you really got to just keep trying. And if they're your friend, if they're that close to you, they're there for a reason, and they've deserved that for whatever it is, even if they were just family and given to you like that. But you need to keep trying to fix the issue at hand. One day there will be a breaking point, and you will clearly know that they're past the point of being helped. They don't want to be helped, and it is only going to make things worse for you, the people you love, and them.
Sure.
That is the point where you can kind of give up on them and let them go. I still don't think you should push them away. It's
Sure.
more about just letting them go.
And that's the thing is like letting the drift apart happen, right? Where you're not trying to rein somebody in and saying, wait, something, no, we used to be closer and we should fix this, or you know, just being like, this isn't working out or whatever. We're not on the same page. Because that happened to me in high school with a bunch of kids, right? Where we had the same interests, we were all into the same stuff, right? And then we hit and this happened in junior high, I guess too, with my original core group of friends, where they were like this, and then they got super into music, and I didn't. It's like for a while tried to make it work, and I was just like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just go find other people, not in a bad way, not in a fuck you, this is over kind of way. And the same thing with the high school friends, where we were going, and then we were just on different tracks, right? Where it's like they were getting interested in different things. Some of them to bad things, or smoking or drugs or whatever that I didn't want any part of.
Cool stuff.
The cool stuff. They were the cool kids. I was the guy in the Undertaker tie. But everybody just separate. I wore wrestling ties to high school and Superman ties, because that was the thing. When you go to an oppressive Catholic school and they give you no way to express yourself in high school, the only thing you can wear to express yourself is ties. You would be like Greg Miller and wear whatever you want. I don't know, Macklemore ties or some shit. I wore a Superman tie or a wrestling tie every day of high school. Didn't get laid that much, believe it or not.
No, yeah.
But people separate, and that's the thing. And like, there are times with like your other friends where, like, for us, leaving IGN, right, and like leaving that when we were baked into people, and I remember being like, well, this is a family, and da 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 da. And it wouldn't be the same way like when other people left IGN and we never saw them again. No, I left IGN and never see most of those people ever again, because we weren't friends the way I thought we were friends when I was there, or just lazily thought we were. Not that I, was hung up on it or whatever, but that we leave and you grow apart and everybody has different interests, and it's not as easy to get together and go do things with them.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking to think about. Like I often, right now, I'm at an age where a lot of my friends are getting engaged in the conversation of bridal parties and dude parties, whatever they're called, groomsmen.
Dude parties, what they call them.
That's like surrounding me. Like everywhere I go, this conversation's happening. And it's like this same conversation dates back forever, whether it's your MySpace top 8 or you're this or you're that.
Who's
it's
your
like,
best friend?
Who's the inner circle? Who's your top 10? Who's your this? Who's your that? And whether or not it's ranked, it's just who are the people that are in that. And it's kind of a lot to think about. Conversations I had with Curran when I was 16, talking about the 10 people closest to me then. Who's going to be in your dude party when you get married? And it's like, I know I can name every single person I named, and they're not all here anymore.
Sure.
Most of them are. Like, most of them are so ride or die, and I'm lucky enough that, like, the way that I've lived, like, my core group is my core
Colonel,
group.
James,
Curran, James, Kevin, all this stuff. It's like, we are who we are. But there are a couple of those people that, for whatever reason, like, just got ejected out of the group. Like, they just are so far, and to look at them now, it's like I can't even imagine them being invited to the wedding.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
And it's just that it hurts to think about, but at the same time, it's like that's kind of life.
It's just growth, right there. It's personal growth. The people that I grew apart from, I don't miss, period. But it's also like I don't have ill will towards them. It's just how it goes.
But I think it's even more difficult for me now, where it's like, I think recently there's been a couple situations where people that I'm really close to, things happen, and it's just instantly like, all right, well, you are just gone.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like your friends are the people that you actually get to pick, right? And that's a very important thing answering, for me, especially in answering this topic, is that you don't have to be friends with people. You don't have to. And largely, I think a lot of friendships are circumstantial, right? Like, I was friends with a lot of people in college that I don't really talk to that much anymore, because we were in that moment in life together, having those shared experiences together, and then I moved away. And they still live in Orange County or in Southern California, and I came up here, and I have a whole different life now. And when we talk, or when I'm able to catch up with these people, there are some old times that we can talk about, and we're still human beings of roughly the same age, so we're sharing some of those experiences. But it's more difficult to connect than it is to connect with you guys, who share literally almost every waking second of my time with me. But I've let a lot of people go, and you just have to, because you have to at a certain point kind of say, is this worth the energy anymore to keep this kind of friendship up? A perfect example of that is, I used to be really a lot closer, I think, with a lot more people at IGN when I smoked. Because you would go out and smoke together, and you started to get to know people because of that. And you're like, oh, I've never really had a need to talk to you because you work in like engineering or sales or something like that. Let's be friends. We're gonna smoke. We'll bum cigarettes off each other. It'll be fun. We'll have this shared experience. And then once A, I moved away, and B, stopped smoking, like I don't really need or have that need to interact with these people anymore. And it's not like a nefarious, like I'm cutting these people out of my life, but it's just like we don't relate anymore on that level. So either we're going to really try hard to relate on a different level, or we're just going to call this what it was. You were my smoking buddy, and now, we'll see each other at parties, and that'll be fine, but I'm not going to go out of my way to call you.
I like how you put it as A, we moved away, and B, I stopped smoking. Because I would love it if we moved away and you hadn't stopped smoking, and they're just like, you know what, guys? I'm going to check out for like an hour and a half, go smoke with Jim from IGN Engineering.
Well, no, but like we still go to like Comic-Con parties and things like that, right? Where like I used to smoke, and so I would go out and you would see the smokers. And so I would be a lot closer with those people than I am now, because when we go to those parties, I'm like, I'm just going to see the kind of, core group of people that are just standing by the bar all the time, because that's what I still like to do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for Aziz, when's it okay? I think it's okay when you feel it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you'll know when it's okay to give up on someone or give up on a friendship, which sounds terrible.
Yeah.
And for you, it sounds like is terrible for certain instances.
It definitely is, and I think that the most important part in this, we're kind of just talking about the friendship part, not the breakup part, but I think it's the same
breakups
thing.
Between friends, I don't really. Is he still talking about friends, or are you talking about breakups and then you try to be friends? I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, I think the advice stands. Where for me, the only thing that I have learned that I can commit to and I believe in wholeheartedly, and I feel like the older I get, the more I believe in it, is to just be you as much as humanly possible, and the people that are around you are going to support that or push that away.
Sure. Right.
And that's on you and them to figure out. But trying to make things work is the worst. Just be the best you can be, and be the person that you want to be, because then the people that you surround yourself with are the homies. Like, they are the homies. And if for some reason they need to leave, they need to leave. You can't live your life trying to please everybody. You need to please as many people are as necessary, and like that number changes for every single person.
Yeah, again, I think, and that's very, very important. Like, again, when it's your family, there's a difference there, in my opinion, right? Your family is always your family. You're kind of stuck with them forever. You kind of deal with them for better or for worse. But your friends, there's a threshold, right? And I'm not talking about if you have a friend that's in need, it's like in crisis, and you're like, I don't want to be there for them. That just makes you a bad friend. But your friends are supposed to be the people that enrich your life, and your friends are supposed to be the people that make you want to be a better person, and that you're literally choosing to surround yourself with. And so if you're not getting anything out of those relationships anymore, there's no shame in just saying, like, this is not I'm not getting anything out of this. And this is a relationship that I'm choosing to be in. I'm not forced to be in. So fuck it.
Fuck it indeed. Colin, any pearls of wisdom?
Not really. I mean, I've been thinking, and like, I don't think that I've ever had a bad friend breakup before. The one thing that I'll say is that I've had a more transient life than I think a lot of people have, and when I was younger, and so
just doing heroin under the bridge.
That's exactly right. But I grew up on Long Island, and then I moved to Maine for a little while, and I had 3 years there, and I had 2 years in New Hampshire, and then I had 4 more years on Long Island, then I had 5 years in Boston, then I had almost 10 years here. And in all those places, I have people that I really love and appreciate. And even going back to my childhood, a few weeks ago, this guy Lewis that I used to play hockey with in Maine when I was in like the mid-'90s just friended me on Facebook, and never see him again. But it's cool to know that he's like banging around still and like doing his thing. And like
still playing hockey.
But he's not a friend though. He's an acquaintance.
No, but he was my buddy. Like, he was my buddy, man.
Sure.
Like, he and I were like really close for those 3 years.
Yeah.
And then I left, and I never saw him again. And like, that's the way it goes. My friend Steven, that when I was in private school in New Hampshire, was like my buddy. Like, I was so close to him, and we email back and forth, but I'll never see him again. Like, and I've accepted it. I look in on him on Facebook. He's married, he's got kids, he's doing his thing, and I'm like, I remember playing basketball with him. I remember like his dad like loved cars, and they had like push button transmissions in those cars, and I remember like learning how to use them and stuff like that with like, and I had memories with those people. And the one thing that I've always regretted, and I think that like is deep seated in me, is that like I've never felt fully accepted anywhere I've been because I've always had to leave. So I've always been eager to be accepted somewhere because I have my friends on Long Island, and I have my friends from Boston, and I have my friends here, but I always feel like kind of on the outside of all those groups because like my friend Doug's a good example, and he's from Maine, and we went to college together, and I was in his wedding party, and we're close friends, and I just kind of was in his group for a few years and then just left. That group still exists, right? And I hear from them very so often, and I see them when I'm out there or whatever sometimes, but they still exist without me. You know,
Life goes on for
yeah, and then on Long Island, it's like my friend Mike, my best friend from
Pope?
childhood, Mike Pope. I was in his wedding just a little while ago, and him and Corey and a few of the guys we grew up with, like they're still a group. You know, like I'm just not there, and I reinsert myself, and we have a good time, and then I leave, and they're still a group. You know, and the same way with Ramon and Chris Godfrey and all these guys that I really grew up, in college with, that I really love and adore. I talk to them on Instagram or I talk to them on Facebook, but they're still a group. You know, and like I left. And so I've always had a kind of a profound sadness about that. I've never had a breakup with a friend per se. I've just like kind of had to leave, and that kind of sucks in a way. Like where I'm like, I really love all of these people. It's just that for different reasons. It's just that but have I ever had this thing where I'm like, we're not friends anymore, and that person was really a friend of mine? I've never had that. Like I really never had that. There are people where I'm just like. A good example is my friend Eric, who was another good friend of mine growing up on Long Island. We would play D&D together, and we would play with G.I. Joes and go swimming and do all this kind of stuff. We were always together biking around and for years. And I hadn't seen him since high school. We went all the way through high school together. We kind of grew apart in high school. We would talk and stuff, but he was kind of doing his thing. I was doing my thing. And I was painting a house in 2005 on Long Island. When I worked for Post Morrow, and he like happened to live near the house. So he came over and we were talking, and I had not seen him again or talked to him since then. And then he reached out to me like late last year or whatever, was like, I'm in San Francisco for business. You want to go get dinner? And we just got dinner, and we like yucked it up and fucking were hysterically laughing and took pictures and all that kind of stuff. And then we went our separate ways, and I may never see him, and it was good to reconnect with him. I was looking at his Facebook recently, got married and all that kind of stuff, see his parents. And I'm like, who I love. And I'm like, it's kind of like, in a way, like social media kind of reminds me of how like sad I am of like losing some of these people that like, if someone to the point of like wedding parties or whatever, if someone was like, all right, you and Eric, like, you're 12 or 14. It's like, couldn't imagine your life without that person. And then you're 31. You're like, I've seen that person once in 15 years. Mm-hmm. It's just the way things go. But I think what the important thing is for the people outside of San Francisco, because I'm here, and so I am able to keep my connections here. Although tenuously, sometimes there are people that I can't believe I don't talk to anymore. I don't talk to Mark Ryan anymore. Like I don't talk like these people that I like love. Is that I try to keep a touchstone in like every one of those places. Like Mike Pope, like I'll always be boys with. Ramon, I'll always be boys with, and all that kind of stuff. And that's the best I can do to maintain.
Yeah, I don't think that's rare to you though. That's the same way, right? Where I don't Poe's my best friend, right? But I don't talk to. He's the high school Chicago, or I guess grade school too. Like my lifelong Chicago friend, I get to touch base with him at once every 6 months. We're not on a phone call basis, and the same thing with Hayes in Mizzou at Mizzou, or in Missouri, I should say, or whatever. He's the college person. Like there's these very three distinct groups of friends in my life. But it's what you always talk about, where the first time I ever met Ramon, that the fact that we immediately gelled, right? And that's the same thing. And when Poe used to come down to visit me at Mizzou, he gels with everybody, and when those people come out here, they gel with everybody here. Like you have that same close-knit circuit, even though it doesn't feel that way. You still have these groups.
Yeah, it's just a melancholy kind of feeling sometimes. You have like
a melancholy
kind of feeling. Yeah, I've always kind of regretted having a more transient childhood based on circumstances, because it's like I really wish that I had that like full 13-year kindergarten to 12th grade experience with like one group of people, but I just didn't. The only saving grace was that I got to end with the people I started with. That was like basically it.
I mean, I had that to a degree. Like from like 4th grade on all the way through high school, I had people that I was in the same town. It's just we used to drift apart even in high school. Like the people that I think out of anyone I went from 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade to, I think one person managed to make it to high school with me that I was even like on friendly terms with.
Yeah, you think I was kindergarten through high school with the group, and I have more. Don't get me wrong. I like my group of friends at Mizzou, and my group of friends back in Illinois. Right, like in Illinois, there's like 3 people I keep in touch with. Right. In Mizzou, there's also a small select group, but it's the same thing, right? Where by the time you get out of there, you've figured out who you like enough to hang out with, like for real, and who is your friend and who is your acquaintance and who is just some person.
Yeah, San Francisco public schools were set up in such a way that if you didn't get into the high school I went to, Lowell, which was like the only like academic based thing, everything else was just like a lottery of where you lived. If you didn't get in there, which me and a lot of my close friends did, like you were just put in a whole bunch of random schools, and I went to a totally different elementary school than anyone else I knew. So everyone got split pretty much instantly, but SF's so small that like it didn't hold us back. We just went to each other's dances. You know what I mean? It's like, let's do winter ball at Galileo. Let's do
so wild
prom at this place.
I didn't know anyone at other high schools. There was a fierce rivalry between all the high schools in Riverside because you just didn't interact.
That's how it works. Your clicks.
Not right.
I remember it back.
You went to Poly. Go fuck yourself.
Fuck you, poly students. No, that was the same way with us, where it was like we were so in our own world that I remember what a big deal it was when a couple of the guys from our group of friends started dating girls from Wheaton North. I was like, what?
There's a whole other group of girls.
What are you talking about? How are you doing
that was
that?
just like dating. It would be like a Martian. It was not acceptable.
Yeah.
There was every once in a while a girl would date some dude in college, and you were like,
Oh my
ew.
God, why are you dating that
And
old
then you'd be,
man?
like
He's an
super
old
jealous
man.
that he got to have sex with her. But yeah, no. The thought of like being outside of that was just that was my feeble high school brain could not comprehend that.
Of course. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy Show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each bring a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where we post each and every episode early if you toss us a few bucks. Plus, there's exclusive goodies, perks, and a whole bunch of cool shit. If you have no bucks to toss, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we post the entire show, topic by topic, day by day. The following week, until it all goes up, is one big video in MP3. Until next time, will Nick be in a Heather Gray shirt?
Conversational.
Probably. Have a conversational day. It's been our pleasure to serve you. Greetings and salutations.
Salutations. I love you.
Love and sex stuff.
This first ever episode of 100.
Kevin really doesn't shower. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Game Over Greggy Show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer / what is this shirt? It isn't gray. It isn't black. It isn't one of ours.
Looks good.
There was a point where this morning where I broke, and I'm like, I don't.
Sorry, hold on, your mic is off.
Check.
Oh, but you're ready for everything, remember? When you said
You're ready, Kevin? You
were
wanna go
ready.
poop again?
Remember when you're like, oh, are we not doing the show tonight, guys? But no, this room wasn't 100% functioning, right?
Why is your mic so high?
Colin was using it. A real person was using it. Not an Oompa Loompa over there. All right, here we go.